Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Taylor Simon, expert communicator and motivational speaker, here to invite you to expand your territory. Your territory being to expand your mindset and ability to effectively communicate to diverse groups. Are you ready to expand your audience? Are you ready to expand your territory? Well, let's go on a journey and come along with me to meet the world, to expand your territory. Walk with me across the vast lands. Say you decided to go and take a trip to Japan, Australia, Africa, or India. Would you be able to communicate to the residents effectively? Many people across the globe have different communication styles. Their communication style depends on their race, their gender, their age, as well as their religious and cultural backgrounds. Communicational styles and habits can be developed and molded from the individual's environment. My next point, what is communication anyway, you may ask? Well, according to the Webster Dictionary, communication is the act or process of using words, sounds, signs, or behaviors to express or exchange information, to express your ideas, thoughts, feelings, and etc. to someone else. Communication can also be verbal as well as nonverbal. Communication can also be expressed through imagery and graphics. Communication is indeed universal. As I've stated before, nonverbal communication can be delivered through various forms of media, such as art, music, theater, dance, sign language, colors, and various symbols. As a graphic designer myself, my usual style of communication is expressed visually through graphics and text. This allows me to say what mere words may not be able to express. Painting is also another form of communication that can be filled with hidden messages that may only be known by the artist and leaves the viewer guessing. Nonverbal communication can also be expressed through body language, hand movements, as well as facial expressions. Take this. For all of my married individuals out there, I'm sure you've experienced your spouse smacking their lips and crossing their arms, and it's obvious that they're what? Upset because of their body language. It means that they're trying to communicate something to you and let you know that I'm upset and you need to start paying a little more attention. So what are we communicating for anyway? We communicate to transfer and share ideas and information. We communicate to build a relationship and to express our feelings and reveal our personality and identity. We also communicate to teach, to motivate, to inspire, and to influence. Depending on the position, your reason for communication may be different from the person next to you. If you work in sales, most likely your style of communication will be to influence or motivate someone to make a purchase. Or you could be a teacher, and your style of communication is teaching and transferring information to other individuals. So who exactly are you communicating with? Well, of course, we're communicating with men, with women, youth, the elderly. You're communicating with entrepreneurs, Walmart shoppers, Beyonce fans, accountants, a congregation, McDonald's employees, the deaf, and your local hobo. You're also communicating with the lower class, middle class, and upper class citizens. Individuals from various backgrounds, religious backgrounds, belief systems. Individuals from various cultures and ethnicities, people from different learning styles, personalities, languages, and abilities. That goes to say that your message should be centered around the demographics of your audience. Your message should cater to their diverse needs and desires.
Hit it!
Are you still wanting to expand your territory, your mindset? Take the friendly approach. Get to know your audience. Before anyone hires you for a job, what do? They do some research on your character and your background in order to collect information that will be helpful to them when potentially selecting you for a job. As stated in my slideshow, do a background check. Learn your audience's likes and dislikes. Get acquainted with their communication style. Learn the demographics of your audience before your presentation and prepare accordingly. In this case, it is your responsibility to do your background check. so that you can make the appropriate arrangements that would make your approach more successful. My next point is be comfortable with learning something new about a different culture. Don't prepare with a closed mindset and with traditional feelings about a particular group. My next point, so huge. No biased statements, comments, or opinions that could potentially offend your audience. You definitely don't want to stereotype any individual in the audience and potentially run them away. You'll lose followers that way. I'm here to basically train you to be an effective communicator, to expand your mindset, and most of all, to expand your audience and expand your amount of followers. Now, I'm not a huge fan of blind dates because you never know what you're going to get. You literally have no time to make sure that your date is not crazy or a potential stalker. Not to say that anyone in your audience will be crazy or a stalker. However, I do recommend, like I said before, do a background check so that you will be well prepared and fully equipped to communicate effectively to a diverse audience. And my last point to making that friendly approach, recognize and always acknowledge everyone in attendance. No one wants to feel left out. No one wants to feel like the wet blanket. No one wants to be shut down. Everyone wants to feel special and feel a part of something. And I encourage you to make everyone feel a part. Make everyone feel like a huge family. And pretty much make an environment where they feel comfortable to express their own ideas to you. How not to make friends. Do not use awkward humor. The same awkward humor that you use with your group of friends may not be as flattering in front of your audience. Just because a particular group of people may receive a particular message from you doesn't mean that the audience that's placed before you will receive the same message in the same way. In the same way, your friend may be able to receive a certain comment. However, the comment may not be as flattering to someone else with different views. My next point is not making eye contact. You definitely want to make your audience feel important. You want to be able to connect with them on a whole nother level. I'm sure pretty much all of you have had that special crush and you see them across the room and you're just making eye contact, making googly eyes at them. You're just like, oh, okay, he's cute or she's cute or whatever. And then you connect. Not to say that you're going to have that same flirtatious connection with your audience, but I'm just making the statement that you want to make that connection with them. You want to be able to have that form of engagement with your audience to where they feel connected with you, to where they feel invited, feel special, and feel important to you. They want to know that you're listening. Eye contact in America is common and makes the other individual feel like they're being listened to. However, as you will also do your research, in some countries, eye contact is also a form of a disrespect. So I want you to also be aware of that. My next point is assuming that the audience have the same religious beliefs. As a Christian, I cannot go into an audience assuming that everyone has the same beliefs as I do. You definitely want to meet every single individual on their level, and you definitely want to make an atmosphere that is conducive to them being more open with you. My next point is using the one-size-fits-all approach. No one wants to talk or even be around. You don't want to go into an audience assuming that everyone thinks the same, that everyone walks the same walk or talks the same walk or has the same type of actions. As I said before, you definitely want to do your research so that you can better engage with your audience and effectively communicate with them, and not going in with a biased approach, assuming that everyone thinks the same as you do. My next point is excessively using jargon and slang. Now, I'm going to further elaborate on this point in another slide. However, you definitely want to cater your language to a particular audience that will better receive what you're trying to communicate with them. My last and most important point is no smiling. No one wants to talk or even be around someone who doesn't look the least bit pleasant or approachable. Even if your audience members look angry, continue to smile. Their frown will wear off, as soon as you know it. However, remain confident, remain bold, stand high with your shoulders up, and continue to smile. And later, they'll be able to be more engaged with you because you're engaged with your message. My next point overall is about expanding your territory. Expand your mindset, your territory, and capacity to receive. If you are not willing to become more informed about individuals from diverse groups, you will not engage your audience in an effective way. I encourage you to become more open to meeting and getting to know the world, and not just a specific group. By doing this, you will be capable of reaching broader audiences and capture many followers from diverse groups. Another point that I would like to add, and it's actually a side note, is don't let their faces intimidate you. As I stated before in the last slide, always continue to smile, even if their faces are not engaged. You definitely want to make them feel as if you're super excited and interested in your own message. If you make that super believable, they'll believe it. And in time, they'll be engaged with that alone, and they'll become interested in what you're saying. So don't become intimidated by their faces. Continue to smile. My next point, if you're used to speaking slang on a regular basis and are preparing to speak in front of executives, please learn to speak their language and meet the individuals on their level of learning and communications. This method does not change who you are as an individual. However, it adds to what you already have. I want to add this. As I stated before, you definitely want to be able to cater and center your message around your particular audience that you're trying to engage. When using slang and jargon, I would encourage you to use that around the youth. If your audience is the youth, they'll be able to relate more with the slang language and all these SMH, shake my head, text message lingo, and things like that. They'll be able to understand and better relate with what you're saying. However, if you're entering into an executive board meeting by using jargon and slang language, they will not be able to relate with what you're saying, and you're going to lose them within the first 3 seconds of your message. By changing your language, it will definitely enable you to become a well-rounded person and will enhance your ability to speak to people outside of your comfort zone. Also, I encourage you to build a relationship and connect with the world and those around you. The world is presented before you as your audience, and now is the time to deliver a message that can shift and transform the mindsets of diverse individuals. Are you ready to broaden your horizon? Start by using the bird's eye view. This method will surely allow you to obtain information on a global scale so that your face-to-face approach with your audience will be successful. This view is an elevated view from a perspective that is precise, well-rounded, and full of knowledge that will justify that you know your audience and you're capable of delivering messages that are able to receive. With an elevated perspective, you're able to capture everything and everyone. I also encourage you to eliminate tunnel vision, which only limits you to seeing things one way. How will you be able to capture everyone in the audience when you're trying to see through a tunnel? One way. It limits your ability to expand your territory and to expand your mindset. I also encourage you to eliminate biased topics and limitations that will hinder the audience's level of engagement and interaction. I want everybody to close their eyes. Right now, I want you to imagine. Imagine you are a minister preparing a sermon for individuals with various issues. These issues could involve suicide, stealing, cheating, insecurities, depression, and any other issues. I want to ask you, what message will you deliver to engage, transform, inspire, or enlighten your audience? The initial question that I want you to ask yourself today is, what do they need? And what can I say that will not offend them, but will change their hearts to see things differently? In saying that, in order to get the response you want, you have to give the audience what they need. Just like a minister has to pray in order to see what the people may need, you, as the expert communicator, have to do your research in order to approach the audience with their needs in order to receive the response that you desire. I want to thank you all for joining me today. My name is Taylor Simon once again, and I hope that you guys leave here with an expanded territory and an expanded mindset so that you can all go out and expand your audience to get the number of followers that you want. Once again, thank you so much for inviting me here to speak with you all. I'm Taylor Simon, and I hope to see you again.